Plant and animal migration. Plant migration is different from animal migration. Can you suggest the main differences? In plants, embryo, which is a part of a seed, migrates. It is a highly stochastic process with a random distribution. In animals, juveniles or adults migrate. It is a behavior driven by instinct, learning or decision with a precise direction, often forwards and backwards, between breeding and wintering sites. But it is always an evolutionary adaptation in order to survive and reproduce. Plant migration depends on total seed production and dispersal events. The probability that a seed released from the parent plant travels a given distance and germinates is strictly related to its shape and its ability to survive extreme conditions. Indeed, it requires sophisticated adaptation mechanisms. The survival of plants through ice ages in past or recent global warming, and in general when rapid climate changes occur, can rely on their migration abilities. Today, we must take into account land cover change and human disturbance. These factors have many indirect consequences for recent migration of plants, in ways that facilitate the spread of some species and slow spread of others. How can animals navigate their way? Obviously, they can navigate their way relying on their sense organs and brain. Sense organs, eyes or nose. The orientation can be based on the sun, the Earth's magnetic field, and others. Some researchers state that others considerably facilitate bird migration and act as a more important navigational cue than the sun and the Earth's magnetic field. They carry out an experiment, and the results of the study enabled the scientists to reach the initial conclusion that the olfactory sense is a significant component of the bird's navigational chart. An internal compass can be useful in the first migratory journey of birds, but adult migratory birds are able to remember the odors of routes that they have flown just once. Animals can detect the Earth's magnetic field. The biological nature of such a phenomenon was investigated in fruit flies and other animals by a group of Chinese scientists. They identified a magnetosensing complex that exhibits spontaneous alignment in the direction of external magnetic field. The complex consists of a magnetoreceptor, an iron-containing protein that forms a rod-like polymers and couples with the cry, and the cryptochrome cry, a light-sensitive protein in the eye. This complex is found in the retina of pigeons, butterfly, rats, whale, and human cells. Further research are required to explain magnetic navigation and may take decades and probably several generations to complete. This is a lateral and cross-section view of the magnetocomplex. The cry-mag-R magnetosensor complex may act as a biological compass that perceives information from the Earth's magnetic field, such as polarity, intensity, and inclination. Brain and neurons. Place cells were discovered in hippocampus, and they tend to fire specifically when animals are at certain locations of the environment. Different cells fire at different locations. Place field. Grid cells are discovered in the dorsal medial entorhinal cortex next to hippocampus, and they fire at multiple locations. These multiple locations form a periodic hexagonal lattice that covers the anterior surface of the local environment. The difference between grid cells and plasma cells are grid models are universal and rigid because they carry out a metric for space. Placed cells take on a variety of patterns because they participate in memory for events associated with the location stored in the placed cells maps. In the recent years are discovered other spatial cells. Indeed, the brain has a lot of specific neurons dedicated to location, orientation, and spatial navigation. I'd like to invite you to participate in a citizen science project. The Red Admiral, Vanessa Atalanta, is a migratory butterfly colonizing Central and Northern Europe every year from the south. In autumn, the offspring of these spring arrivals migrate southwards. So the researchers of this project ask you to record date, location, and number of individuals seen. Every record is valuable, and they thank you a lot for participating in this project. In conclusion, I would like to remember the words of James Lovelock, the father of Gaia hypothesis. It is worth asking ourselves whether the movements of migratory birds and fish serve the larger Gaian purpose of phosphorus recycling.